So then the last person I spoke to inside of Digicel told me to destroy them. Is that a common practice?
I don't know. I mean, we wouldn't destroy them because, of course, they have no run-out date.
Right. So these are unlimited. No matter how much credits are on them, you can use them somewhere.
Yeah. You could use them anywhere in Digicel here.
Okay.
You couldn't use them anywhere else because they weren't in anyone else's system.
So they're St. Lucia only.
St. Lucia only.
Okay.
They would have worked in St. Vincent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I gave 500 of those cards to a guy named Gershom Dick in St. Vincent.
In St. Vincent.
Yeah. Now, he was given the brown envelope from Digicel.
Right.
I don't know who he works for now, I can't remember. He's still in St. Vincent.
I'll find him because I'm heading to St. Vincent
Yeah.
soon.
Now, if he knows where those cards are, he might do.
Mm-hmm.
But it's unlikely. They've probably long since got lost.
Right.
But he had 500 of those cards.
Okay.
I don't know what he did with them.
Yeah.
But the idea was he was going to give them out to the site owners or things like that.
Yes. And we often talk about in the collector's world, print run, which is 10,000, is totally different than availability. Meaning, okay, now I made 10,000 of these cards and I sold them to the prison system. But only 5 of these cards made its way back out of prison. Right? Because we destroyed them so they are not weapons. So, okay, even though 10,000 cards were made, there's only 5 that exist. Because 9,995 of them were burnt, or destroyed, or thrown in the trash so the prisoners don't use them as weapons. So as a collector, that's super important information because quantity is totally different than availability, right? So when I receive this batch of cards from you, I go on the search of finding out who else has this card. On top of that, who else know the history of the card? Why was it made? Because it says nothing about St. Lucia. So now, even though this card says Digicel, this card doesn't say St. Lucia. So outside of me and the people who trust me to believe that the information I got from you is correct, outside of this video, still doesn't believe this card is from St. Lucia. Because it says not, because in the past, right, a Caribbean card would have said, let's pull out a St. Lucia card, right? I have a St. Lucia card here. That is Cable and Wireless GPT. And it says Cable and Wireless. On the back will give you Cable and Wireless St. Lucia. So for someone in Romania who collect phone cards, they can read, okay, it says Cable and Wireless St. Lucia, right? An original monoprint, hand printed on silk by St. Lucian artist Daniel Jean-Baptiste. This gives me no information. So as a collector, why I wanted to interview you beyond obviously your wealth of knowledge is to be able to confirm that this card was made by you, via Bill Brown, and this card is St. Lucian only. Because Digicel, based on what you have shared with me and my research, there's no phone booth in St. Vincent.
We had 10 in St. Vincent at one time. That's why I gave him 500 cards.
Okay.
But when we quit in 2019, and they took over, I still kept running St. Vincent for a bit longer because they wanted me to look after them, not them, not Digicel. But in the end, I had to give them up. So they took them over, and then we lost contact with them. Except that although they took them over, the cards that they would have had were still the originals.
Oh, so it'll still be this. These would be the only card that St. Vincent has experienced, which is the Series 1, the original.
Yeah. So St. Vincent never had any of those, I don't remember.
Okay. And they never had a 50?
No.
So the 50, which...
That was only for Bordelais.
Right.
So the only place that ever had 50s were Bordelais.
So these were never published for the public?
No.
So you give me 4, right?
Yeah.
I have one in my hand. Of that 4, I have a very close friend of mine, Eric Schuderman, who's a #1 phone card collector in Australia. I've traded one of those with him. So if you haven't went to the prison system, I haven't seen any others of them. They're very difficult to find.
And
so now you might have just answered my question, why is the 50 so difficult to find?
Yeah, because, you see, they didn't buy many, right? So there wouldn't be many, like in Bordelais, in use.
Right.
Very few. And so I held them all, and then I handed them all into Digicel.
Okay.
So they had between probably 4,000 to 5,000 $50 cards and scrapped those.
Right.
Whether they scrapped them because the design was to them out of date,
right,
or whether they scrapped them because they had some weird idea that the cards would need destroying, but there were no other cards anywhere.
Right.
Nowhere with Digicel in the world. So what prompted them to destroy them, goodness knows. I can only imagine it's because of the design.
So it might have been, which is the design is an older generic design.
Yeah, that's no longer Digicel.
That's no longer Digicel. No. And based on the information I've received from Shane Fennis, who I spoke to today, he said we destroyed all of them. So I only have to believe what he tells me. And I don't know how the destruction process go. Do you throw them in a furnace?
Yeah.
Do you throw them in a shredder? Do we send them back to Digicel Ireland? I don't know. So
well, they only ever came through me.
So they only came through
They
you.
came from Nyquist to me. They were paid by Digicel office here. They didn't go via Bill.
Okay.
I mean, Bill and I were involved in them originally.
Yeah.
And then if they needed the mapping for the cards, I would have got that to Nyquist via Gajada.
Okay.
And then the cards came directly to me when they were made. And I held them until, say, Bordelais purchased them. Because they were in the later years, they're the only people that bought cards. Nobody else did.
Right.
And then, of course, when we left Digicel, we handed them all in.
Okay.
So that was
And why would you have handed them in? Would they have them in their inventory so you get some money back, like a deposit?
No, they paid for those cards.
So they're it's their property.
Yeah, 7,300 US at a time.
Okay.
When we bought every 10,000 cards.
Right.
That's 73 cents each.
Right. And just to be clear, you only made 5,000 $50 cards.
Yeah.
And only a few were sold to Bordelais.
Yes.
And the majority was given back to Digicel.
Yeah.
And based on Shane Fennis's information that he gave to me, they were destroyed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's possible that if I look back on the old receipt books, I could probably find how many $50 cards I actually did supply to Bordelais.
Okay.
Because I'd have a receipt in my receipt book.
Right.
And I've still got all the old books.
Right.
At least I think so. Maybe I handed them to Digicel. I don't remember now. Be that I handed them back to Digicel. Because we gave everything back to them that belonged to them. Anything, I mean, all this lot belongs to me. I think I've come to a conclusion, Kishon, that if I drop dead tomorrow, this will stop within about 2 days.
All
That'll
this
be the
will
end
stop.
of it. Yeah. There's nobody.
Is there anything I can do to help make?
No, there's nobody to take over. You need. I mean, I'm 82 now. I've been working since I was 15.
Ooh.
I've been in communications since about 1960, 61. So that's how many years? 60 odd years.
Yeah,
70
60.
years. You learn so much. It's all, and you're going back through all these years when you're doing all, like Bordelais. I'm working on stuff I worked on in the 70s and 80s. You know, you've got to put all these little bits of knowledge together, going over all the years. So, and I was a carpenter and joiner by trade. So, who drills the holes in the wall? Who concretes the solar system pole?
You do it. You do
We
it
do
all.
it all. We do it all.
Man. Well, Len, I appreciate you allowing me to invade your office.
No props.
I appreciate you educating me, and obviously the phone cards you have given to me.